Um, yeah. Hi, my name is Sean Bouchard, and welcome to a secret bonus edition of Play by Play. We're going to play some Firewatch tonight. Firewatch is a game I've been looking forward to for a while, because it seems like a kind of concept game that I would be really into. It dropped last week, I think, sometime, and a friend of mine, a colleague, Jesse Vigil, played it for a while, and after he had played like the first half hour of it, something like that, he came into work the next day and told me, I'm playing Firewatch. I started it. It's really good. The writing is really good. It's really, really sad. And I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to play this on stream, aren't I? So we're gonna play some Firewatch. This is about the only thing that was gonna tear me away from XCOM 2 tonight. So let's start it. Let's get started. Do you guys hear like woodworking sounds? Oh, God damn it. Boulder, Colorado, 1975. You see Julia. Hold on, I'm gonna try to do some live editing. This is gonna go terribly. Oh, it's waiting for me. I see Julia and it's waiting for. I'm gonna change this to Firewatch. Done and done. Okay, let's go back to this game. You see Julia. Oh, I do. I underlined it. I clicked it. It's like hypertext. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. So what's your, major? Or you're pretty. I like this. This seems more like something I might say. You slur the word major, and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says, and I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours? She asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? Was that a burn? You ask. She says, definitely. Worried she hurt your feelings, she asks if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. I'm in an elevator. I have a backpack. I'm digging the aesthetic of this game. It's got a little bit of a like Team Fortress toon shaded thing. Well, let's see how it manifests. Like that the characters, at least, that hand. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. It sounds like Colorado. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. I would definitely adopt a beagle named Bucket. Bucket's a good dog, and a week later, you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. So that was an interesting bit of either foreshadowing or just characterization, that suggestion of, do you want to get a big, dangerous-looking dog to protect your girlfriend? I want to see how that plays out. "1979. That was 1975, so it's 4 years, I think. You talk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 p.m., and the heat still radiates off the high desert. What do you think about kids?" she asks. "Kids? They're not very smart, or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have some, a couple little idiots." It seems like this kind of a story. "In that case, we should probably get married." "Yeah, I would like that," you say. "These kids are going to be screwed up enough. It's probably for the best if their parents are hitched." You say she's absolutely right. I do like the writing. Does this feel like the opening sequence to Up to anybody else? Thoroughfare trailhead. Two forks lookout. There's not a clear, like, you are here. Do not forget to check in. No fireworks. You're in their country. Learn to live with bears. Thoroughfare trail is not recommended for inexperienced hikers. Okay, I hope that I'm an experienced hiker. That is what I hope. "1980. It's a Thursday night, and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. You ignore her. That's fighting style. You don't touch each other all night. The next day you feel guilty for being so angry and ask her about her evening. She says it was great. You hold on to a tiny pill of resentment. You make some coffee and go to work." This is really good writing. And we're covering a lot of ground. This is one of the things that reminds me of Up, I think, is that we're covering a lot of ground in a small space. By touching on these highlights, these like really sort of relatable moments in the relationship, and seeing the relationship grow and how it progresses by sort of, getting these key ideas. I also like the way that it is using and kind of using sparingly interactivity and the choices, like that idea of, so what is it that you do when you're angry? You're angry at your wife or fiance. How does that manifest? How do you express that? I think that was a neat moment, and not every one of these needs to have a branch. 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. Pose and flex like He-Man. You look awesome. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. The color palette, those shadows, how well defined that is. I just love this rubble. Looks really, really nice. That sun, good lord. So, I mean, they knew that this was going to be one of the first moments, visual moments of the game. And the game has this interesting opening where it's like there's there's a lot of it that's not visual, and the most emotionally resonant parts of it so far have been non-visual. They've just been textual. So the visuals have to carry themselves in a really important way, and this, you know, sun, this horizon, God, look at that fade into night sky. That's, I feel like the sky should be a little darker over there, but it looks really nice. It's beautiful. The self-shadowing, it's just very thoughtful. Very pretty. 2 forks, fire lookout. Is that 2 forks? 2 forks. Spacebar to climb. (1982). During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Bucket gets kicked. Fuck! Dog! Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she's stressed. You confront the attacker. Jesus. He kicked my dog? Your arm gets cut up, but you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry your eyes out before the cops show up. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say okay. You don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. I feel... I mean, so this is really interesting. I feel like oddly uncomfortable making these particular choices publicly. Not because I feel like they're especially reflective of me, but because the game has succeeded in creating an incredibly intimate atmosphere where I feel already like this story is very personal to me. And part of that is, I think the story is really well written. And part of it is where they've chosen and what they've chosen to be these options that you choose between. On one level, they're very simple, and they don't change the outcome of things a lot. I imagine. I mean, they seem like they probably are doing a lot of branching and folding. This story, I think, is very linear, but I feel like they're asking me to sort of make comments on how I handle difficult situations. As a character, it's trying to like get me inside the head of this character in a way that, you know, it feels weird to me to be doing on stream, but I feel like it's very effective. It's affecting me. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work, 1984. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Jesus. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but she'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up if it's what she wants. She agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. Wow. Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. Oh, God. She was found crying in the stairwell. I have the privilege of this being a game, and I don't have to actually be going through this to be able to choose the thing that I think is right, rather than having to actually experience it. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She's 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. Fuck, this is my nightmare. My view is constrained, like seriously constrained. This is as far as I can turn. So I can't get lost here. I can only sort of look in one direction, and I can't move. All I can do is pick up the journal. So really good focusing of my attention on what's important in the scene. Oh God, there's my He-Man drawing. Amazing. Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. Is that a good idea? Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She's devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic, believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. This is amazing. This is really, really, really good. 1988. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. Oh, God. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else. Somewhere with 24-hour care. A home. It sits with you for a couple months. The pacing of this is really nice, right? Like, so there's 2 parts of the game that we've seen so far. There's this like 3D walking in the forest bit, and there's the textual Julia story. And the Julia story keeps getting more and more intense. But this part stays the same. It doesn't change. Like, I mean, the emotional level doesn't change. It's very relaxed. And it provides, like, there's nothing timed about any of this, but I feel like when I get to the end of a paragraph in the Julia story, I should click the thing to go on to the next piece of the story. Whereas this actually gives me a moment to like breathe. I think it's more the transition than what this is, although the fact that this is like calm and nature filled, I think that probably helps. But the fact that like the game abruptly transitions into something else, there's a fade, gives me an excuse to sort of like reorient myself and process what's going on in the Julia story, which I need to do. Like, it's important that I take a moment to do that, but I wouldn't necessarily if the game didn't like present it this way. Look at that. Her family agrees with your decision. You find a fantastic place in Boulder and move her there. You see her every day, then every other day. You go out to the bar with your old friends. It's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, "If you ever put me in a home like Henry did, I will cut your balls off." You slowly decide to not see your old friends all that much. Julia's sister Susan moves to Boulder to be close to her. She visits her every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it if you won't see a therapist. You won't. You've always really liked Susan. Months go by. Bucket dies. Julia doesn't remember him when you tell her. Sometimes it takes her a minute to lock in on you. In the back of your mind, you believe it's because you see her less and less. And seeing her less and less makes her forget you more. You think. Summer is coming, and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it. Okay. What a fantastic setup that is, right? I mean, like, emotionally, we are exactly in the place that this game wants us to be. Turn on the power. No good. Pick up the radio. Got it. Pick up the pine cone. I can examine the pine cone. Okay. That teaches me a little bit about the mechanics of the game. There's a map table. Generator switch. Hey, lights came on.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hold left shift to activate radio. Use the okay, scroll bar to select dialogue, and then release left shift.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Oh, I got a timer. Okay, you've killed 3 ex-husbands. You're rebelling against mom. Nobody back home can stand you.
You've killed 3 husbands. You're a black widow, and you're just out here until the heat dies down, and then you'll kill again.
Very good. Bravo, Henry.
Okay, I sleep now?
Not quite. Now you.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but 9 times out of 10, folks out here simply got dumped.
Oh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
Turn up the game volume a little bit. Yes, I can do that.
Good morning, Henry. Well, I guess good afternoon. You probably slept like a rock. Anyway, there's still a few hours of daylight to get some work in. I can see you at your desk, so call me when you're ready.
Hey, sorry. Guess
I'm still getting used to the
Relaxing.
to the interface.
14 hours of sleep? Oof.
Yeah, Jesus. I guess it's what, 6?
6:45.
Whoops.
So the clock doesn't work.
Don't worry about it. That hike puts everyone out of commission for a day or two. But now that you're up, let me quickly get you acquainted with the job. There's a thing in the middle of your room with a round map on it. Do you see it?
I do.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
This is the Osborne Firefinder, invented in 1914 by W.B.
Osborne.
You use this to spot, you guessed it, What the fuck?
What is it?
Nothing. You use this to... Oh, fuck me!
Good God, language, lady.
Out your west-facing window. Are you seeing what
Which
I'm
way's
seeing?
west? Which way's west? Fuck. Why wasn't it?
Fucking fireworks?
N. West is this way.
I need you to confirm. Do you see them?
I don't see them. Oh, I do see them. Oh, god damn it. Radio.
Seriously, are you seeing them?
I am. Do the radio. Why isn't my radio working? Do I have to lower the compass? Yes, I have to lower the compass
Henry?
before I can talk on the radio.
Legal, right?
Okay.
No. You need to get down there right now and stop them. Fire danger is through the fucking roof.
Is that really my job?
Your job is whatever I say it is. Look, the closest ranger is like 2 days away. Go down there and set him straight.
Okay, sound way up.
Do you think you can handle that?
Do I write him a ticket?
Easy there, Dirty Harry.
Well,
Get going. You'll probably need a rope to get down the shale between you and the lake, if I remember right. There should be one in the supply box on the way. The code is 1234. It's actually that for all of them.
Okay.
smart.
Shut up.
I can't actually do any of the things that I can't open the desk drawer. I can't pick up my backpack. This is really super weird. Okay. Sorry, hold on guys. I'm going to take a break for just a couple of minutes. Can I save my game? I can. I'm going to take a break for just a couple of minutes and then I'll be back and play some more of this. All right, bye.